What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are concluding the first volume of Gaia Gear. Last time, Afranche and Everly made it to Hong Kong, where they were taken in by Bam Sigin. He gave Afranche the man-machine, Zoran's soul. Someone infiltrated the building and killed Bam. Afranche took the man-machine and got Everly to safety. This time, Afranche heads into space. They make it to Side 2. Afranche is smuggled onto the colony, and they run into a suspicious hang glider. So let's get into this. Afranche holds the shuttle hostage as he demands that they get his man-machine into space. They tell him the best way to do that is to detach the booster, remove the shuttle, and add his man-machine. That is when Miranda, Bam's assistant and driver, holds a gun demanding they send him into space. She says they are Neo-Zeon and they won't back down. The captain requests the control tower detach the cargo. He notes that the Zoran Soul still uses arm rakers. The digital displays, the interface that makes the machine fly, the graphics providing the data. All this is something Afranche never grew up learning, so why is it coming easy for him? He then has an existential crisis within himself. Why is he stealing a shuttle and breaking the laws, he wonders. But he recognizes the paradox of a broken world, one he couldn't grasp if he continued existence on his small island. He attaches the man-machine to the booster and gets into the shuttle, where he is met with Miranda and soldiers. He hears one whisper, Sig Zeon. He then hears Miranda talk about heading to Side 2. Afranche gets into a normal suit and Miranda gives him a gun. He aims the gun at the pilots as they can't get uncomfortable around them. While prepping for launch, Afranche gets a moment of fear of leaving Everly behind. The shuttle takes off. When you use a mass driver system, it effectively looks like a ramp that flings you into space. If you think about it, it's just the greatest dolly ever. Suck it, Homer Simpson in the Springfield Gorge. Anyways, that's my TED Talk on mass driver systems. Afranche experiences the layers of atmosphere try to tear apart the shuttle until it finally goes quiet and everything begins floating. Miranda tells the pilot it is time to change course. She wants to head to the shoal zone that was once Side 4. This was written before F91, so the frontier colonies weren't a thing yet. Afranche has never heard of the term shoal zone before. Out in space, Everly is far from Afranche's mind. While traveling, they encounter some debris. Afranche uses some bird lime to seal the leak in the hull of the ship. Later, Miranda is passed out while Afranche watches the pilots. The co-pilot says, "Hey, can I change my urine bag? How much urine does a urine bag hold, I wonder?" He tells him no. After some silence, Afranche notices something moving in the panels. He demands to know what that is. That is when Miranda wakes up and says the party has arrived. As the shuttle docks with them, on the comm, someone comes in and says, "Your Excellency, Char Aznable." Afranche responded to it as though it was his name. He struggles to float in 0G. They bring him onto what appears to be a mining ship of the sorts. The men on board salute him, but Miranda says that it is too early and he isn't fully awake yet. They knock out the pilots and depart from the shuttle. For Miranda, it is though Char is standing right next to her. She shows him a picture of Char Aznable from the history books. She doesn't want to provide answers to him at the moment, as she is unaware how much she knows about Zeon. He goes, "Why do people keep forgetting I'm an island boy? I don't know nothing." She says that he is Char himself. The Spacious is a mineral transport vessel. It appears like a tugboat carrying orbs of cargo. This is how they are able to hide Afranche's man-machine. He is still struggling to float around the ship without bumping into everything. A girl in jeans and a braid comes in the dining hall. It is Krishna Pandit. Others begin pouring in. He is introduced to Madras Karya, the captain of the Spacious. I think it's supposed to be spacious, like in terms of space, not outer space. The navigator is named Icon. They all begin teasing Afranche. He heads back to the bridge where he dozes off, wondering if he will ever see Everly again. In his dreams, Everly calls out to him, but in the real world, it is Miranda calling out to him, telling him that they made it to Side 2. He sees the colony for the first time. Afranche is dumbfounded by its size. Although you can't hear in space, he felt as though he could hear the movement of the colony as it creates artificial gravity for those within. They inform him that they are going to have to enter the colony illegally. They switch out the oxygen packs in Afranche's normal suit. How much oxygen can an oxygen pack hold? I have questions. The helmet can also detect a vacuum and automatically throw down the visor for safety. Krishna heads out into the void of space first. They are smuggling themselves riding on the back of a shipping container. Miranda and Afranche will stow away while Krishna smuggles them in. Miranda helps Afranche into the container. He has a moment with the vastness of space as this is his first spacewalk. There is a dummy hatch on the container where they could hide. It is quite cramped and they will have to hide for a few hours. After a while of silence, Afranche pushes Miranda once again on why she is helping. She says that the late son of Zeon Daikun was someone she found quite admirable. Outside, they hear the clanking of mechanical noises. Miranda tells him how the Federation is fostering a new bureaucratic caste system rising within the colonies. She thinks this is due to racial issues, but Afranche doesn't seem to get it. He is reminded of Gavasu's words. Some love to work, some can only laze around. Some find contentment just gazing at the sea. But that doesn't mean they're useless. The idle ones possess the art of passing the time effortlessly, a treasure for the weary. Those who watch the sea can predict the coming of the storms or fish better than any machine. Everyone is different. The world's notions that everyone should be equal is selfish and fails to appreciate these unique colors. They hear a loud bang when suddenly, light. They are welcomed by Krishna, who is smuggling them in. Afranche gets out and sees clouds, mountains, and clear skies. He is certain this is Earth. What is going on, he wonders. The artificial landscapes of the colony would make anyone question if all of this is a dream. He is also back under gravity. They travel north to find a metropolitan city. Krishna mentions that this was one of the oldest colonies inside too, and it is kind of a giant slum. They explain artificial environments to Afranche. The ticking noise returns. This seemed to make perfect sense to him. They enter into a factory area, and they are in 0G once again. The team meets up with Mikhail when they see a hang glider struggling due to a lack of gravity in the area. Mikhail tries to pull the pilot, but Afranche throws him a rope to safety. His name is Urian. Afranche gets an uneasy feeling about him. Miranda tells him to keep quiet as they don't yet know this guy. And we all know how Afranche is just too damn genuine and might blurt something out, not realizing malice. He seemed to be a carefree young aristocrat. The captain tells him that they have business to handle, and Yule will have to depart. He says sure, and takes off. Afranche's uneasy feeling now becomes a sense of danger. He believes this man boarded their ship on purpose. Could he be with Maha, he thinks to himself. Or perhaps just a man trying to impress Krishna. Miranda mentions that there aren't vagrants for fear of forced labor. There is social security for people, but like most systems, it is exploited. They reach a building with a sign that says Alexander Mineral Selection Industry, where they dock their ship. Even though they are still weightless, the heights of these buildings are tripping him out. Miranda tells Afranche his senses are correct about Yule. He was eager to see who is on the bridge and is definitely scouting them out. She admits that she didn't believe in resurrections. But after seeing Afranche, she is in awe of the Char continuation operation. She hints at a cloning program trying to replicate a version of Char. The Spacious continues forward. She thinks that they will have to hide the Zoran's soul as they may be compromised. Afranche says that if the will of Char is what he is destined to accept, then he might end up going mad. And that will conclude the first volume of Gaia Gear. We learn about Afranche Char's destiny, but ultimately we still know so little about this world. Much of what we see is reaction to Afranche's circumstances, which is perfectly fine as this is the first act of a greater story. It's not like Hideo Kojima who is expositing while the credits are rolling. Someone teach that man the 3-act structure. Tomino is really emphasizing the people's desire for a monoculture. The easiest approach to that is keeping things equal but separate. It seems that many view the melting pot within the colonies as a failed experiment. I don't know what Tomino was smoking in the late 80s, but with the rise of nationalism, this seems to be a very poignant topic even in 2025. Next time, Afranche will be captured by Maha. Yule will end up being a Maha spy. And we learn more about the Z organization, Metatron, and the titular Gaia Gear. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, it's hard to be a genuine person in a world full of trolls. Peace.